I don't care how smart you are. It's so rare that when you go into business or you try something new that you get it right the first time. The first evolution of an idea is not usually the right one.
Momentum, guys. Momentum is the thing that's missing right now. It has to happen right now.
Only distinction between a bunch of really successful individuals and a bunch of individuals really wanting success is that the successful individuals were willing to fail.
Rise and shine, it's espresso time. I wake up every morning.
Espresso keep me going.
I wake up every morning. So let's start your day off right together. Grab your coffee and sip on today's message from Jordan Belfort. Also, if you want to learn how to have more confidence, check out my 254 series. They're free. The links are in the description below.
The only thing that stops you from getting what you want in life is the bullshit story you tell yourself.
Thou shalt commit thyself to mastering the art of failing elegantly. This is an entrepreneurial tactic which most young people don't know because they haven't failed yet, really failed. There's two ways to fail in life, in business. Let's talk about business. You can fail elegantly or you can fail miserably, okay? Failing elegantly is a way of going about starting a business or launching a new division of a company that allows you to test out an idea or a concept quickly to get your read, whether it's right or wrong, whether it works or doesn't work, without losing a fortune, without losing a lot of time, versus failing miserably where you lose tons of money, it takes a lot of time, and you end up with nothing but a bankruptcy. Now, when I was 22 years old and I launched my first real business, I went bankrupt. It was the meat and seafood business. I started with one truck. I grew to 26 trucks, was making a ton of money, I thought, but I was making every mistake a young entrepreneur can make. I was overexpanding, I was growing with credit, I was undercapitalized, wasn't screening out my employees. Before I knew it, I was out of business, and I failed miserably, lost everything and declared bankruptcy. Nowadays, when I'm approached with an idea, and I like it, I'm gonna test the idea, I'll do it in a way that A, if I'm wrong, I don't lose much money, or better yet, I'll use other people's money. Seriously, I'll always take in an investor and make less on the upside if it means I can protect myself on the downside. And B, I always structure my tests so I get my reads as quickly as possible, so I know quickly the information. And then I can change my approach and try again. Change my approach, and sure enough, by doing that again and again, eventually you'll hit on the right formula. I don't care how smart you are. It's so rare that when you go into business or you try something new that you get it right the first time. The first evolution of an idea is not usually the right one. And where you see that all through history, businesses after business, where they all are now making money, not on how they thought they'd make money. It's some evolution of the idea. If you fail miserably, you'll never get the chance. By structuring your tests so you can fail elegantly, you can test again, and so forth.
Most people don't fail enough. Most people are so afraid of a huge fail that they don't even try. You're afraid of taking a big bet, you're afraid of going into deep debt, and that fear prevents you from having the thing that matters the most right now in your business, momentum. You don't need to fail big, but you do need to start, otherwise you will never build the big business that you're capable of building. So I'm a big fan of going from idea to action. Idea to action, idea to action, idea to action. You get an idea, what do? You take action. Teach yourself, train yourself. As soon as you get that idea, don't judge it, don't think about it, don't plan and ponder and strategize, because your list of ideas is a mile long and it's not gonna get any shorter. You're a genius, you come up with great ideas. You're gonna keep coming up with ideas for the rest of your life. That list of ideas is not gonna shrink. So how do you start moving? You take action. I call it the 2% difference. Instead of planning to get to 100% for your idea, what's the 2% difference that you can just do something about right now? I think your ideas came to you for a reason. I think it's inspired. Why are you thinking about this thing? Don't judge the reason, just go off and do something. One small conversation, one small action. Start building momentum. That's the thing that's missing right now is momentum. You need more momentum. You're a genius. You have great ideas. You should be changing the world. What's missing is momentum, and I want you to find it. So quick example, when I was on my tour and we were driving through the desert, through Texas, and two people came to my mind. One was my friend Mark Drager, who I'd known for over a decade. And I thought, I'm going to start a podcast with Mark Drager. Like, That's weird. Why am I thinking about this? Why am I thinking about Mark? I haven't talked to him for a while. I'm on my tour. Why am I thinking about a podcast? I've been anti-podcast for so long, saying it's not my priority. I want to focus on my YouTube channel. I want to build my Instagram up. I don't care about a podcast. Now, for some reason, I'm driving through the desert, thinking about my friend Mark and a podcast. What do most people do? You judge it. You think about it. You strategize. You research. Is it time for a podcast? How would we make it work? What's the best thing to do? Just email Mark and say, hey, Mark, what do you think about starting a podcast together? And he said, yes. And we started doing a podcast, and we didn't worry about having the right gear. When did we start the podcast? Now. Like, when's our first podcast? This week. Let's make it happen. And Mark's an AV guy, audiovisual guy. He has a video production company, $1 million plus. Obviously, he wants to use good gear, good sound, good video for the video version of it. But we can't yet. And I'm only a month in on my tour. So what am I going to do? Wait 2 months until? No. We'll do it live on Instagram. And the audio quality won't be fantastic and the video quality won't be fantastic. But you know what we're building? You know what's happening? Momentum. Momentum. The thing that you're missing is momentum because you're trying to make it perfect. Because you're going to wait 2 months to start, and then by the time 2 months happen, you won't start. That's the problem. And so now that we're back in Toronto, we film it, and we have 3 cameras on me filming it, and we've got high quality microphones and all of that stuff, and it's a way better product. But we started. If we waited 2 months, it wouldn't have happened. Second guy I thought about in the desert was Jeremy. Jeremy Stickney came to my Thought Leadership Academy late last year, September last year. And why am I thinking about him? I don't know. I haven't talked to Jeremy since. This was now, I met him in September. This was now, what? February? January? Haven't talked to him in a couple months. Driving through the desert, and I think I want to start a YouTube consulting business with Jeremy. I get asked all the time for people to help me with their YouTube channels. I don't want to be in that business. I don't want to be a consultant. But that's a business. And why am I thinking about Jeremy? He was doing something else. I don't know. Don't judge it. Don't disrespect it. Don't worry about it. My next step is I want to talk to Jeremy. I'm going to Facebook message him. So Nina's sitting next to me and said, Nina, we need to message Jeremy Stickney and say, Jeremy, I have an idea for you. And I need to get him on a Facebook Live call today. And he was working. It's like, I need to get him on the call. Tell him to take a break. I need to get him on a call right now. Momentum, guys! Momentum is the thing that's missing right now. It has to happen right now. Your ideas matter. Don't judge them. Your ideas are important. Build momentum immediately, even though they don't make sense. Why am I telling Jeremy to take a break? Why am I telling Jeremy to call right now? This has to happen while I'm on this drive right now, because tomorrow I'm going to wake up a different person. By the time I land in Albuquerque, I'm going to be a different person. I'm in the zone right now thinking about it. It has to happen right now. You need to build immediate momentum. This is how you start projects. Now, it ended up working out with Mark. We're I don't know how many episodes deep on our podcast. Jeremy said yes after that call. And we've been working. Now he's gotten his first clients and he's helping people build their YouTube channels. It's amazing. A lot of the ideas don't necessarily work out. That's okay. You'll get some crazy idea. You're still building some momentum on it. And maybe it doesn't work out. Maybe Mark says no. Maybe Jeremy says no. Maybe we do our first podcast and it sucks and we both hate it. Awesome. How are you going to know? By doing. Right? You're not going to know by thinking about it. How do I know if I'm going to like doing a podcast? I can think and think and think and think, but you won't know until you try. You can't think your way through liking sushi. You have to try it and see. And so this is why I get frustrated, because I think you're a genius. I think you have great ideas. I think you have noble intent. I think you should be off making an impact and making money and changing the world. I think you deserve that. You should. But there are dummies that are winning off of your idea. People who don't have a big mission, people who don't really care about their customers, they're just chasing an opportunity and they're making money. They are. Why? What's the difference between them and you? They started. That's the only difference. They started and you're still thinking about it. And so if you go from idea to action, what's this 2% difference? The smallest possible way to just build momentum, not strategize, not think, not plan, do something. Email somebody, call somebody, take action. Man, if you guys just did that for the next 3 months, your life would look dramatically different. So how do you make the shift? How do you learn to fail more elegantly? How do you take more risks? How do you say yes? How do you take action? I'm going to give you a 3-step process that you can follow. Step number 1 is idea to action, right? That 2% difference. I want you to find something today. What are you thinking about? Find something today that's been on your mind and just do something. Like, teach yourself. I'm the kind of person who takes action, not just watches a video and gets motivated and inspired, but does something. Do the hard thing. Take some kind of action, even if it doesn't make sense. That's the number 1 gift that you can give yourself right now, today, after watching this video, or even pausing right now and just sending that quick email out or making that quick call. Take immediate action right now. Step number 2 is expect to suck. Expect to suck. One of the big reasons why people are afraid to fail is because you're afraid to fail big. Don't worry about failing big. Fail small and expect to suck. Like, the first thing you're gonna do is going to suck. My first podcast sucks. Jeremy's first call sucked. He was actually pretty good, but it sucked compared to what he's capable of now. Like, the first time you try to do anything, you will suck. That's okay. It doesn't mean you suck as a human. It just means you don't have the skills yet. You don't have the talent yet. You haven't learned the thing yet. That's okay. How do you learn? By doing, by experimenting. So if you go out and you expect the first thing to rock, then when you do the first thing and it sucks, you feel depressed. You beat up on yourself. You want to flip it. The first time out, expect to fail. Fail gloriously. It's going to be a total disaster. That's the best, right? Expect to suck. And what that does is reduces the pressure. If you expect to suck, then there's no pressure. Then you can have fun. Then you can actually have fun. And when you're having fun and you're loving it, you're going to create some amazing things. So step 2 is expect to suck. And then step 3 is, how did that make you feel? You can win in a lot of different things. There's a million different ways to win, but you have to be doing something that you love, right? That's the common thread between everybody who's had success. They love what they did. And so you're gonna try something new. You're gonna go idea to action. You're gonna expect to suck. And then step 3 is, how did it make you feel? Did you enjoy it? Even though you lost, even though you sucked, you didn't get a great reward, you didn't get a great prize, nobody watched your video, it was a disaster. But did you like it? Did you enjoy it? Because if you enjoy it, it'll make you want to go back and do it again, and do it again, and do it again, and do it again. And if you keep going back and doing things again and again and again that you enjoy, guess what? You get pretty good at it. You learn to bring value to other people. You're on the path to now building a successful business. And so I did my first podcast with Mark, and I loved it. It was fun. It was a ton of fun. I gave Jeremy a whole bunch of assignments and homework to do while I was on the road, and he started doing them. I met him once I got back, and we started the business. He got his first clients, right? I like it. I enjoy working with Mark. I enjoy working with Jeremy. Even though the first interaction, the first episode, the first call was a disaster, and we've gotten a lot better since, I enjoyed it. And so think of these ideas as you're going on a first date. The goal of a first date is not to get married. If you try to go from first date to, I need to marry this person, you put so much expectations on it that you're gonna sabotage the date. And when it doesn't go perfectly the first time out, you're gonna be constantly not even wanting to go on the first date. Because you've taught yourself. Because you've taught yourself that first dates suck. I never find the right person. The goal of a first date is to go on a second date. Did I like this person enough to go on a second date with them? If it's yes, then you do it. And if it's no, then you go find somebody else. Treat your ideas like that too. The goal of testing out your first idea is not just to make this list of ideas and an intellectual exercise you can be proud of yourself on. The goal of doing the first idea is just to see, do I want to do it again? Do I want to run the second podcast? Do I want to make the second video? Do I want to go to that second event? Right? You need to try more. You need to be willing to fail more. You need to expect to suck at everything the first time out. And just pay attention to how it makes you feel. Because when you find the thing that you love doing, that you want to go back to every single day, I promise you, you're going to create something amazing. You're going to create an amazing business. You're going to create a lot of money for yourself and wealth. You're going to have a huge impact on the people around you and the world. Can't wait to see you get there. Now, I've got a really special bonus clip that I think you're going to enjoy. But before that, question of the day, I want to know what's an idea that you have right now, that you're going to take immediate action on today. Let me know. Put in the comments below.
So often people are consumed with fear. The fear of judgment, that's a huge one. The fear of failure, what happens if it doesn't work? The fear of success, what happens if it does work and people see me like they really see me for who I am? What happens if I get hurt in a relationship? Like, there's so many what ifs. But what happens when you what if yourself, all over yourself, you never think about the what if it works. What if? What if it has just as much chance at working as it does at not working? And what if you redefine what we call failure? And in my language, I love it in the book Abundance Now that I wrote, and many of you have read it, I talk about you can fail all day long, just fail forward. The only distinction between a bunch of really successful individuals and a bunch of individuals really wanting success is that the successful individuals were willing to fail. And they did fail. They just failed forward. Some of my best lessons are born out of my failures, literally to this day. And my failures these days cost 6 figures or more. But I'm willing to do that because I want the lesson or the outcome. And if you allow a failure to feed your future, it's what I call feeding your future. Meaning, what are the 2 things that I did really well? And what's the 1 area that I can improve upon? Or what's the 3 things I did really well? And what are the 2 areas that I can improve upon? And then take those 2 things and pull that lesson forward. Or take the 3 things that you did well and make sure you don't lose those. To me, the tragedy of when something doesn't go the way you thought is when you only beat yourself up from it. You never, ever look at what did I do well and where can I improve?
If you want to learn how to master sales like Jordan Belfort and others, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
Sales cures all.
So number 1 is sales.
Learn how to sell